And it really disappoints me to hear that we don't take care of anything that we had a right to an opinion, and then it would change something. And it really doesn't. So that's
And I do empathize with everyone here, and, and I appreciate you taking the time to come here and speak. Again, we're bound by the law to follow certain rules. Unfortunately, in this case, it was permitted use in C3, and that's what that property has been zoned for a long time. So that's all I have for citizen comments. With that, we will move on to the next portion. Unfinished business. Bill number 1452. It's on the agenda right after unfinished business. It'll be under new business.
Okay.
It is tabled until after unfinished.
Okay, so we'll make sure.
Bill number 1452, code amendment, radon control methods, IRC Appendix F, an ordinance amending section 500.035 of the city code of the city of Troy, Missouri by adopting Appendix F, radon control methods of the 2015 International Residential Code. Second reading. Bill number 1452, code amendment, radon control methods, IRC Appendix F. An ordinance amending section 500.035 of the city code of the city of Troy, Missouri by adopting Appendix F, radon control methods of the 2015 International Residential Code. Chair will entertain a motion on this item.
I'll make a motion to accept bill number 1452.
Second.
Any discussion? I have a motion by Alderman Dieter, second by Laws.
I'd like to speak on that for just a second. One of the reasons why I brought this up was the health department in Lincoln County had brought to my attention that radon is extremely high in Lincoln County.
Yes.
Yeah.
I put in a radon detector in my house a year ago. The unacceptable level is 4. Anything over 4 is dangerous. In 2019, I retired from work. I worked 6 and 7 days a week, pretty much most of my career over there. I worked 10, 12 hours and some 14-hour days. So I was never home. I was just trying to support my family. Like I said, I retired in 2019. After I retired, I was a welder. The smoke was so thick in the building that you could start looking under it as it come down from the ceiling. When I retired, I had health issues 3 months after I retired. Not when I retired. The clean air was whooping my butt, needless to say. I couldn't figure out what it was. The doctors couldn't figure out what it was. That's when I got into taking this radon thing a little bit more serious that I heard about. Like I said, 4 was the legal limit. Anything over that was 4 was considered dangerous. Mine was 9.4. It averaged that for almost a year. I have respiratory problems to this day, and I truly do not want to see any of our citizens what I'm going through. And as I drive around town, almost any given day, you can almost see a new system going up on a house. Because the people that are trying to sell it, the buyer wants a radon test done, and it's coming back positive. I figure it's an easy way to save the people in the beginning. It's not forcing anything on the homeowners in town, just a new construction to have it installed.
Any other comments on this item? We have a motion, a second on the floor. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Peter?
Yes.
Schooner? Yes. Warner?
Yes.
Hoffman? Yes. Laws?
Yes.
All.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. New business, site plan approval of Ridge at Park Hills and South Main Street, PZ 26-0005. Can I get a motion, please?
I'd like to make a motion to table this until the city can complete a traffic study. They change it to a dedicated entrance and exit. And then the minutes that I asked for are actually provided. And when I talked to Adam from Morales, I also asked him to look into everything that he had to show that he never promised that there'd be nothing built. I've yet to hear back. And I think we have to have all of those things before we continue forward with this.
Yes.
Folks, still calling. Now, comment time is over. They're conducting business. Please be respectful. Okay, we have a motion on the floor.
Second.
Second, Alderwoman Huffman. Any debate on this motion to table?
I agree with Rachel on that. They need to do a traffic study. There's so much that goes on there. The first proposal that they brought to the board, I think, was misrepresented to the people. The 13 homes that was supposed to go in, I think the homes were closer to the size of the homes that were there now. They're just smaller lots, but it was not construed that way to the public. Everybody thought they were smaller homes. So, and I asked Raul when he called, Adam Bear, when he called me just the other day and talked to him, and I asked him if there was any way that they could go back to the original plan. He said, no, they got too much money invested in this plan. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not, I do not know. But most contractors got generic plans that they throw out there. It changes on the site itself, but for the most part, the cost is still there no matter what. But there's one thing that I caught today, and it kind of took me by surprise, and it was in an email from Mr. Knowles that I got to going through, and it's the bottom of Rawls' paper. Referrals are the highest compliment we can receive. Thank you for yours.
Okay, any other comments on this item? I might ask the city attorney if he would like to weigh in on proposal to table an item that's been approved in P and Z, and we. That's what they want to do, the board. Okay.
Also, the PMT did approve this reluctantly. Pretty much everyone that was there reluctantly approved it because they think that they have no choice in the matter. I don't know. I've been on board since 2006. We've always been told we can't tell them no if they abide by the rules. I do not know, but that's what we've been told.
Okay.
I'd like to make a comment. I've been on the board 5 months, so that's in 2006. I've read all the facts, and I know there's some information that's still floating out there. I'd rather see everything. I understand how things are zoned. I understand what planning and zoning did. I just like to have the information before a decision, so I support this motion.
Also, I think it was Mr. Talley that made the comment that these people are gonna come in there, these apartments, and they don't contribute anything for the upkeep of the detention basin. There's 3 point something acres there. They come in off of that ground that is totally asphalt, concrete, and rooftops. All that water runs into it. I would also like to ask the city engineer to do a study on that to see whether or not the added input to that detention basin is acceptable to the size of that detention basin.
Okay, we have a specific motion on the floor.
I understand that. I'm just,
You can't change the motions after they've been seconded, so.
but also what I don't think people are understanding, there's 84 acres behind you that will be built on as well. You guys are worried about 120 cars up front. Think about the 600 or the 320 possible homes going in the back with a potential of 600 to 700 more cars going out that same intersection when all the sidewalks aren't completed and the kids are walking up and down the street.
Okay, we have a specific motion on the floor to table this item. Is there a time or just, I mean, this is an arbitrary table. There's been no definite timeline. Is it till next meeting?
I would like to know if Mr. Rawls is going to be here so we can get clarification on our question.
Well,
I asked in an email, I know Carla was at conference, but I asked in an email over a week and a half ago, so the information was minutes, or anything from Rawls, or anything that would have been promised. I've yet to hear anything. It was confirmed that the email was gotten and nothing was given back. When Adam called, I told him I wanted the same thing from him. he was going to look through his records. I've got to hear anything from him. So until that's done, I would say it's tabled until then.
We need to postpone it. Tabling it is laying on the table for the future, for this meeting still. So, postponing would be the way to do it, and we need to put a time when we're gonna postpone it to.
Right, but I asked for the records so we can have, we haven't heard anything yet, so we can't have an informed decision even to make.
So you could postpone till the next meeting. If at that time you don't have the information you're requesting, you would postpone it again. If I can get a motion to postpone this item until the next city alderman meeting.
I'll make that motion.
So we have a motion.
Oh, but
So if you would, it was been, she motioned to table. We're asking for a motion to postpone.
I'll make that motion.
Why
We
did
have
we
to
not
act on the table, but the motion that's on the floor has to be acted on first.
So far, we can't table.
Tabling something is like, so later on in the day. So postponing would be postponing to a further date.
So we can set a date in 60 days away.
Whatever date.
Okay, so withdraw your motion if you would, and then we'll rephrase it.
I'll amend my motion
Okay.
to postpone it.
I'll second that.
Postpone until next meeting.
If we have the information, otherwise we will postpone again.
That's what I'm saying. Postpone until next meeting, and then address at that point. Any discussion on the motion on the floor? Any questions for anyone on the floor? We have a representative from the Rouse Company here. Is there a question she can answer? Prior to the vote. Does anyone have a question, please?
I think basic goals, I'm in both engineering or the engineers. And specifically, I guess I would like a list of all the things you're asking for, so the next one we don't come in, there's another thing that we don't want. So if you could specifically tell us what information, I'm fine with postponing it, but
So what I'd like to do is act on the motion subsequently, and then we will reach out and compile a list of everything that's being asked and get that to you tomorrow.
okay, because I'm sure if you answer your question, if we answer the question. I don't know about any emails or that, yeah, I'm not.
Okay. So
Yeah, let's that, can't get the meeting minutes, so.
Right.
Okay, have you guys list, everything under our control.
very good.
Should made a comment, could answer the detention question. So with that 3 acres of ground there, the runoff, I know it's going to contribute to that phase of this problem.
Right.
Will it exceed the original things? We don't know because we don't have that, our engineer to go over that.
Sure.
But also that we were told at the last meeting that the residents of that apartment will not contribute to the upkeep of those detention basins, but they're contributing to the runoff that goes into the detention basin. And one of my concerns is this, that so many times over the years, and I've seen it happen, like I said, I've been here for 20 years now. Well, been here all my life, but I've been in Alderman for the last 20 years. But the thing about it is that once these apartments are done, once they're established, once they're full, at that point, most of the time, they are sold to another company. And then that company is where everything kind of falls apart. And it's going to contribute to the problems of the subdivision, but yet they're not responsible for any of those.
Sure.
I mean,
So that's a good question on the neutral. We'll look into who's going to maintain it. I can answer the engineering part. And we looked at that basin, and the basin is sized properly for the amount of water with this. It was actually sized with this in mind, with this site in mind. And we've done the calculations, and I've actually think I gave you those to the city, but I can provide it to the city, detention basin sized properly. In terms of the maintenance, I'm just an engineer, but I'll look into that and we'll get that from one of
I don't know, it doesn't, out of their concern, and it doesn't. They will contribute to the upkeep of that base.
They promised this kind of crap to other people.
Okay, all right. We need to bring this back in under control. We'll put together a list of
This everything was a long time ago. They knew what they
We
are.
need to have some order. If you would like to
What you
see
need to let everybody
be
know
heard.
is a verbal contract in Missouri.
It has to be heard.
That's not a contract.
If you have a question for the gentleman, all right.
Contract.
You have a hard right to use.
Exactly.
Is there a legal reason for it? Is there?
There's a grade, there's the grade. If you look at it out there, you notice that Main Street's actually pretty steep. It's actually 7.5%. The internal drive is at 4.5%. So by the time you get further toward the detention basin, the separation is such that you're not going to be able to get neighbors off that. So that's the reason.
Any other questions?
Because I think
Let's go ahead. Any other questions over here? All right, thank you, gentlemen. We have no more debate. I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Banner? Yes. Warner?
Yes.
Huffman?
Yes.
Laws?
Yes.
Wallace?
Yes.
Peter?
Motion carries. Thank you. Next item under new business, bill number 1453, additional use permit, restaurant with drive-through PZ 260001. An ordinance of the city of Troy, Missouri approving a conditional use permit for a restaurant with drive-through for Kinley Horn Associates Incorporated on behalf of Turnbull Family Properties LLC and Turnbull Family LP, located at 115 Mason Drive, Lincoln County, parcel number 1560 24 000-000-034.000 and parcel number 1560 24 000-035.004 and establishing conditions and other provisions related thereto. Second reading. Bill number 1452, conditional use permit, restaurant with drive-through, PZ 26-0001. An ordinance of the city of Troy, Missouri approving a conditional use permit for a restaurant with drive-through for Kinley Horn Associates Incorporated on behalf of Turnbull Family Properties LLC, Turnbull Family LP, located at 115 Jason Drive. Lincoln County parcel number 1560 24 000-034.000 and parcel number 1560 24 000-035.004 and establishing conditions and other provisions related thereto.
Mayor, you actually said 450 instead of 453.
Those down.
One. Last time.
Really? Yeah, I was looking at the one above. Okay, this is bill number 1453. With all the verbiage that follows that. I read all the verbiage twice. I've read the bill number twice.
Yeah.
I think we're fine. Chair will entertain a motion to approve bill number 1453.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Laws in corner. Any questions or comments on this item? Call the roll, please.
Laws?
Yes.
Wallace?
Yes.
Peter?
Sure.
Banner? Yes. Warner?
Yes.
Huffman?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item B, bill number 1454, final plat, record plat, Turnbull Place, PZ 26-0001. An ordinance approving the final plat of Turnbull Place, City of Troy, Missouri. Second reading, bill number 1454, final record plat, Turnbull Place, PZ 26-0001. An ordinance approving the final plat of Turnbull Place, City of Troy, Missouri. Chair will entertain a motion to approve bill number 1454.
Yeah.
Alderman Horner, can I get a second? second by Alderman Wallace. Any questions on this item? Call the roll, please.
Porter,
Yes.
Huffman,
Yes.
Laws,
Yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Jeter. Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item C, site plan approval, Culver's Restaurant, 115 Jason Drive, PZ 26-0001. Can I get a motion, please?
Like that.
I'll second
We have a motion by Alderman Long, second by Alderman Huffman. Any questions on this item? Call the roll, please.
Laws,
Yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Peter, Jeter. Yes. Porter,
Yes.
Huffman,
it. Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item C, bill number 1455, code amendment, adopting new code of ordinance. Ordinance adopting and enacting a new code of ordinances of the city of Troy, establishing the same, providing for the repeal of certain ordinances not included therein, except as herein expressly provided, providing for the manner of amending such code of ordinances, providing penalty for the violation thereof, and providing that this ordinance shall become effective. Second reading, bill number 1455, code amendment, adopting new code of ordinances, ordinance adopting and enacting a new code of ordinances of the city of Troy, establishing the same, providing for the repeal of certain ordinances not included therein, except as herein expressly provided, providing for the manner of amending such code of ordinances, providing penalty for the violation thereof, and providing when this ordinance shall become effective.
Make a motion to table this one next month for clarification, some of the bills, because we got half the information, but not all of it. We don't know what some of it's going to be.
Okay, this is a standard yearly procedure that we go through that codifies all of our ordinances. We pass this ordinance every year so that we can update our code book. All the ordinances that have been passed or repealed within the last year are then codified because of this ordinance. So there's nothing specific tied to this, it's the entire codification process.
Well, I have a couple of questions about a couple of things here. I don't understand exactly what the changes are and why they're making. So I agree with Dennis. I want some clarification on some of this.
I can answer whatever question you.
We added a new section regarding the appointment of non-elected board members by mayor or by city. Exactly how are we changing that?
That's state statute. That's, those, everything that I gave you on that sheet is from the Missouri state statutes. Those are statutes that have been changed by the state of Missouri.
And how have they changed it, do you know?
They're, it's just outlined in there. And you would have to look at the Missouri state statutes to find out that statute.
Let's see, that's a problem. We don't have that, so we don't know.
It's on the
We're
state.
voting.
I want to know what you agreed to before I agreed to.
But we can't codify our ordinances if we don't include this.
What's the time trail?
Yeah.
You have to look it up, the definition of Missouri state statute.
And the reason I'm asking is since we added the new definition of cotton trail. And we have another one on there with no, we've got something to do with cotton trail. Oh, we added the new subsection B regarding cotton trailers, former subsection B is now subsection C. What is a cotton trailer? If I lived in the South, I'd know what a cotton trailer is. but I don't live in that part.
It really doesn't have any bearing on the city of Troy, Missouri, this is a state statute. We're just saying,
This has a bearing on the city of Detroit, as it's in our ordinance.
no.
So these are state laws that were passed by both chambers and signed by the governor, that now have to be included in the ordinances.
We're only doing this so that our ordinances can be codified. We're not going to be concerned about some of the things that the state do. We're just saying we're going to abide by those laws and any of the laws that we pass. Or, you know,
Can't believe he's saying that.
it's something we've done every year for years in order to keep our code book up to date.
But if it's going to, if it affects the appointment of non-elected board members by the mayor, I want to know how that is changed. I want to know what I'm agreeing to here.
It's a state statute, right? I mean, if you don't agree with
It's a
it,
state statute, but I think I should know what the state statute is saying, and I should know exactly what it's saying.
yes, the city's broadcast.
A patent trailer under RSMO 301.010 is legally defined as a trailer designed and used exclusively for transporting cotton from field to field or market, and generally designed for slower speeds. Recent legislative changes have updated regulations such as raising speed limits from 40 to 65 miles per hour, according to Missouri Senate Bill 1298 and related proposals.
I can remember one meeting we had, that a woman come and spoke, and she threw a whole bunch of papers on the thing, and she said these are ordinances that are totally unnecessary for the city of Troy, and I thought most of our laws have a reason.
How do we have to have this? It seems like
Well,
we're
we can't codify our ordinances until we approve them.
Is there a deadline? Like,
Sure, I mean,
like
they're
if we
not.
had, if we postponed and did this next month and had it in service for everybody that wants to know all the details, is that an option?
You guys can do it.
One thing I want to make sure everybody understands, it's hard to go up to you'll notice that every organization this year is not in that law. Because they've not been covered. So you'll have to go and click on the little tab that says new laws, shows everything that you passed this year. So what this is doing is it's taking those, the codifier will take those ordinances and they will put them in the appropriate places, the appropriate headings and section numbers on them. So when people want to say, hey, what's the rules in city code? They'll go to our ordinance, see all the book, and there's online options, and they'll be able to see it all together. Right now, it's a little confusing. If you want to know what the rules are on the short, if you didn't know what the tab was, you have no idea what's changed for the past year. Just that came with process we do, take those laws and put them in. Now, because we're a full-time city, we're subject to all of the limitations of the city of Missouri. So, unlike a charter city, which makes no rules, we are subject to the rules of full-class city. Not to say section numbers would be wrong. In the RSMO, so when they change something, we have to adopt that too, because by state statute, and state constitution, we're subject to this. So it's everything we've already adopted, plus everything that other statutes tweak for class cities, and then codifying that and put it together. So after it's one, the code book will be complete, will be questioned as to what the rules are.
So these are all the changes that we've made or going into.
James, thank you for explaining instead of just saying this is what we have to do, this is what we do. So appreciate that.
Okay. We've got, someone try to make a motion to table, I'm not sure that I get through. Can I get a motion on this bill number 1455, please? Approval. Any motion you want to make?
I'll make a motion for approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Horn, second by Alderman Ross. Any other questions on this? Call a roll, please.
Horner,
Yes.
Huffman,
Yes.
Laws,
Yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Peter,
No,
Junior.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item E, bill number 1457, rezoning Stonebridge Professional Plat 1, C3 to C1 PV. PZ 25-0016, an ordinance amending the zoning district boundaries of the city of Troy, Missouri by rezoning certain property and amending the official zoning map. Second reading, bill number 1457, rezoning Stonebridge Professional Plat 1, C3 to C1 PD, PZ 25-0016. An ordinance amending the zoning district boundaries of the city of Troy, Missouri by rezoning certain property and amending the official zoning map. Chair will entertain a motion to approve Bill 1457.
Make that motion. Second.
Motion by Alderman Ross, second by Alderman Warner. Any questions on this item? Clerk will call the roll, please.
Claude,
Yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Warner,
Yes.
Buckman.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Bill number 1458, replat, Stonebridge Professional Plat 1, PZ 250016. An ordinance approving the replat of Stonebridge Professional Plat 1, lots 1 and 2, the subdivision and consolidation located south of Old Moscow Mills Road, north of Town Lake Branch Drive, and west of Creekwood Boulevard in the city of Troy, Missouri. Second reading, bill number 1458, replats, Stonebridge Professional Plat 1, PZ 25-0016, an ordinance approving the replat of Stonebridge Professional Plat 1, lots 1 and 2, with subdivision and consolidation located south of Old Moscow Mills Road, north of Town Branch Drive, and west of Creekwood Boulevard in the city of Troy, Missouri. Make it a motion, please.
Make that motion.
Motion by Alderman Laws to approve bill number 1458. Is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Warner, any questions? Call the roll, please.
Claude,
Yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Warner,
Yes.
Buckman.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. G, site plan approval, Stonebridge Professional Plat 1, lots 1 and 2, PZ -25-0016. Chair will entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Laws, second by Alderman Wallace. Any questions? Comments on this item? Call the roll whenever you're ready.
Claude,
Yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Warner,
Yes.
Buckman.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item H, bill number 1459, ordinance, unregulated intoxicants. Ordinance, amending Title II, Public Health, Safety, and Welfare, Code of Ordinances by enacting a new chapter 255 for the purpose of prohibiting the sale of certain unregulated intoxicants within the city of Troy, Missouri. Second reading, bill number 1459, code amendment, unregulated intoxicants. An ordinance amending Title II, Public Health, Safety, and Welfare, Code of Ordinances by enacting a new chapter 255 for the purpose of prohibiting the sale of certain unregulated intoxicants within the city of Troy, Missouri.
Make that motion.
We have a motion to bill to approve by Alderman Dieter. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Alderwoman Huffman, any comments on this item?
I do have some comments on that. After looking over this, it's in, on November 12, 2025, President Trump signed into new law that amends the statutory definition of hemp under 7 U.S.C. 1639, and absent intervening legislation will render the vast majority of hemp-derived cannabinoid products currently on the market federally unlawful as of November 12, 2026. I guess my biggest question is why are we taking action on this in March when it may change before November 12th?
So,
I'm just kind of curious because we can, so business is out of business. Sometimes I think that might be the real reason why. Because of what's taken on in the past. I could be wrong, I don't know, it's my opinion. But I just think that if this is going to go into effect and make it unlawful November 12th, 2026, let the United States and the state of Missouri make this decision, not the city of Troy.
So if they do pass something federally, which they've already passed the farm bill, which changed the definition, and if they get something passed in the state, we'll still have to enact an ordinance. In the city.
I agree.
November, of course,
When that
so
takes place, then that would be the appropriate time to do it.
having it in place now is not going to hinder us in any way.
Have it in place now and take money off my.
Please, sir, no, the debate's up here. Thank you.
The timing of it seems convenient. If this happened in November of 25, it's now March of 26. After everything that has happened in the last couple of months with us, why are we just not bringing it up? Why didn't we bring it up in November? So I would tend to agree with Dennis that in November of 26 is when we address this. We don't address it until then.
Right. We look at the trailers that they have. The girls in the sector this week, so. Just go. So we're all about level two. Part of this is, we've already been to all of these, lists, regarding state legislature, master, yes, and there's laws that happen immediately. So many communities are starting the process of getting rid of laws, getting rid of ordinances online, but we'll get to the law. It's already a law. We're just trying to do.
We tend to be putting the horse before the cart a lot recently. Let it play out. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it's done and the state statute covers it, and then we vote on it in November.
Well, even if we take the state stance, that's going to be the Senate will pass it. The governor signs the bill. A lot of times, I know immediately, but usually that's August 1. We've got a little time.
August 28th is really on the effective, there's a third straw, so we're going to people. So that's, in this case, I think the concern from the people is that this is completely unregulated, and there's people, any kid age who walk into the gas station in town and buy something that it's completely regulated. That's supposedly allowing them.
It's regulated.
Sir,
I mean, you know, it is not, that's a consideration, unregulated intoxicating. So that's an issue to raise the state level, recommendation, as well. But it's the board, but the board, they wish to address this now. We're obviously, being as it is regulated, that doesn't.
James, you're the Senate,
It's a House bill, so it's not a House.
House and now it's in the Senate, so there should be a
So,
hearing Senate.
it's House Bill 2641, so it passed the Senate committee on Thursday. And it happens
One thing about it, if it's a passing, limited effect to state law, by Thursday, the second Thursday of November, we have a meeting November 16th. We can take action at that time. Until then, I think, as Rita said, I think it's putting the cart before the horse. And it kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth when you stop and think about some of the action that's went on just in the last few months. That it makes it alarming. You know, it's, like I said, our national government, our state government, we never know there's going to be a bill until after it's passed. Once it's passed, then we know. It's just the same as it is here. Not until it's passed, is it going to be.
It hasn't passed the code.
But it's also due to change, and they can't. And November the 12th is the deadline, and it even states that in there. So I just say that we wait till the November meeting. We adopted it, it's a passes total. Till then, I think it's just it's an unnecessary situation.
Okay, we have a motion. Remind me what it is.
Beard made the motion and Huffman seconded.
Motion to approve, is that correct?
That's correct.
You have to make it that permanent.
Okay, any other debate on the board on this item?
Anybody want to speak? No.
Public comments over.
Ross vote.
Waiting somebody gets this.
Is there anyone here that has a question for Mr. Smith? Any one of the board members that has a question or needs clarification by Mr. Smith?
It's 100% regulated. Every CO.
Okay, if there's a question on the board, then we'll be glad to come and let you answer the question.
Is it regulated?
Yes, it's regulated. We have MCA, COA, service.
Step up there, step up there with the mic.
Are you familiar with what's before the one before the House, Senate?
Yes, sir. I understand everything. My name is Thomas Smith. I am the owner of the Garden Meat. Okay, so everybody knows I want to ask you as many questions as you want to. You can leave this on the table right now. I am a little frustrated. I apologize. My heart's pumping a little fast since it's got far inside of welcome to a bunch of people that I don't know. I'm not stuck on voting. And I'm going to speak real quick. I'm going to take the floor for a second. I'm a father, just like many of you. I haven't even built a business.
Trying to limit it to answering questions.
I understand it is regulated. 100% it's regulated. Changes and nobody's talking about it. It's regulated. James, you gave me a problem, but I want you to enjoy.
Okay, sir, just answer the question, please.
Yes, it's
Do you have
regulated.
other questions? Anyone else have a question?
If this passes through the House and the Senate, and then it becomes Missouri, and then by November 12th, you're prepared to do it.
100% on time. The numbers here, James, is a confirmation. Yes.
Then you're ready to deal
So
with
the
it.
only thing I'm asking is for a chance to give me the opportunity to stack money so I can provide for my family and move on to something else. Is there any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Welch, you had a hand in this. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Welch, who helped draft this and has worked with the state legislature recently in adopting the bill that's before them? Any questions for Mr. Welch?
Who is Mr. Welch?
Yeah, who is like board? Thanks so much.
But I explained, he's the one that helped draft all this, so.
Yes, good evening, everyone. My name is Dan Welch. I'm a lawyer in the state of Missouri.
Could you speak up?
Yes, sir. My name is Dan Welch. I'm a lawyer down in St. Louis, Missouri. I've been actively involved in this matter on behalf of industry stakeholders for quite some time, including the the state legislation that's working through the Capitol and the legislation that's before you today, the subject of the motion. So I'm happy to answer any questions, whether it be on the actual ordinance itself or on the underlying subject matter or on anything that's tangential related to the ordinance.
I got one question. It seems like when Bill originally, or when they originally decided to let people smoke pot, marijuana, whatever you want to call it, weed, whatever. When they decided to do this and they opened up these dispensaries, at that particular point, it cost a fortune to get in it, and it took basically wealthy people were the only ones that could get in. Well, I understand that there's a loophole, and some of the people found that loophole. Has this got to do with the simple fact of the fact that the tax on this isn't as great as the tax on the other? Realistically, is that the biggest reason? Because it seems so many people that is the reason why they want to do this, to shut these businesses down. Has to do with it's not generating as much tax revenue. Is that true?
It is true that an unregulated dispensary does not generate the same amount of tax revenue. Article 14 licensed constitutional dispensary, which also has a 4% tax that goes to the Veterans Commission here in the state of Missouri. None of that applies if you are an unlicensed, unregulated dispensary, non-except dispensary that sells unregulated hemp-derived products.
And part of the reason why I bring this up is, and it may sound off subject, but I'm gonna bring it up anyway because I can. Is years ago, we had a meeting years ago in this room with the FBI and Missouri State Patrol about when methamphetamine was at its peak. And they were wanting us to regulate certain drugs that they could use for the production of meth. And everything was going real smooth until I asked one question. And when I asked that one question, the meeting was over within probably less than a minute. Because you take the pills that it takes to make methamphetamine, and you got to, and I don't know which colors it is, you separate it by the colors, certain colors you had to have to make the meth. And I asked him, I said, wouldn't it be better to go to the manufacturers of the product, make it in the liquid form where you couldn't separate everything, than to come to every municipality in the state of Missouri and ask them to remove a certain product off the shelf of Walmart? You'd have thought I'd have shot their first kill. You know that's exactly. And my question here with this is that I find it hard to believe that the only reason that this is such a big deal is over the loss of tax revenue in regards to the other businesses.
Well, I didn't say that. You said.
No, you just said,
I said, no, what I said was that the Article 14 regulated dispensaries end up generating more sales tax revenue, but also the 4% that goes to the Missouri Veterans Commission, whereas the unregulated dispensaries don't do that. So it seems to me that you were trying to suggest one thing or another relative to the fact that the Article 14 dispensaries do generate way more sales tax revenue than an unregulated dispensary. That's the factual situation that comes to two types of dispensaries. I mean, if you're asking me about what the biggest reason for legislation to curtail or prohibit the sale of unregulated hemp-derived intoxicating products outside of the regulated system, you have a whole litany of answers. Sales tax being one of them, but certainly not the top, probably farther down the list. I think that if you ask that question amongst many stakeholders, you would find that the answer has a lot to do with protecting public health and safety. Because products that are regulated, well, all of the Article 14 by the Department of Health. Anybody who's not regulated has a license from the Department of Health is not regulated, and they are not selling regulated products. Right? So
what you're saying is that the gentleman here is not selling regulated products?
Correct. Yeah, this, in spite of his intention of representation to you, that is not accurate. I heard something about a certificate of analysis or something along those lines. Bottom line is, when states consider whether or not to implement a licensed legal marijuana program in their respective states, they either enact some legislation or they have a constitutional amendment. Here in Missouri, as you know, back in 2018, there was a constitutional amendment, Amendment 2 was called, that clearly created a regulated system to enable the sale of these products here in the state of Missouri. That was what the voters in Missouri voted on now twice. So happy to answer his questions.
So it's kind of curious. I misunderstood you, but you were stating that they don't sell regulated items.
Yeah, the only businesses in the state of Missouri that are selling regulated products right now that are derived from marijuana are those that are licensed pursuant to Article 14. The licensed cultivators, licensed manufacturers, transporters, and dispensers. And they are all clearly identified and licensed by the department. Mr. Smith is that one.
Can I ask a question? Who asked you to be here?
Who asked me? Actually, you care as somebody who provides help.
I understand, but who asked you to come? Did you see it on the agenda and you decided to come because the agenda wasn't out until Friday at 4 o'clock? So I'm just curious who asked you to join us.
There was some communication with staff, and I offered myself up as somebody who can answer questions and be helpful to you all if you have questions or something.
Well, it's none of us, as far as the board, as far as I know, so I'm just curious who it was.
Well, I didn't answer.
You said staff.
That's right.
You don't want to give a name?
That would email it.
I believe I think Gene and I both responded that, yeah, if you would.
This is a regular Wisconsin has to be here.
Thank you.
I'll be very glad to agree. Okay, does anybody else have any questions for Mr. White? Thank you, sir.
Actually, this way, you get together, please. Sorry.
April.
Any other debate by the?
I guess
board?
we need to file a little ethics complaint.
Board for approval. Any questions?
Were any other stores in the?
He didn't have any business unless we
Email
had to be
chain
here.
or anything
He set this
as far
all
as
up.
Communication for this.
No,
So the people that it
I'm
affects,
sorry.
that's what I'm asking. Nobody was included as far as any stores that sell hemp derived product.
This is again related to both federal actions and state law actions.
What I'm asking is about your communication with Mr. Welch.
He's not a statement, he's not a statement.
That's cool.
He's an expert.
That's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is, you had communication with him. Were any stores in town included?
He's not a store. He reached out to us after the last session of the license.
I'm not saying he is a store. He is an attorney in St. Louis. I understand who he is and what he is.
He has made a store reached out to, he reached out to any stores. So it's not quite. So you said, is there any other stores? He didn't reach out to any stores. We reached out to the state legislature. Actually, he reached out to us. We were happy to apply. It's understandable. But the state legislature was working with the state legislators. It's not just the state. Because ultimately, they're going to have to. This is just going to be out. When they vote state of the laws.
Sure, in November of 26.
Exactly. But we're not presenting when we're moving forward on it before. So we're just delaying the end. That's fine.
We're not in business to put businesses out of business.
We're not actually not business. Really? There are lots of businesses around town. I bet there are alternative emails from some of you who are concerned about what was expected to be marijuana being sold outside the dispensary in this community.
Oh, I know.
That's what started all of this conversation. Was there was accusations that there was marijuana being sold at other places outside the dispensary. Which sometimes I looked in the timeline and to people. And that started going this entire. So we figure out the federal government is going on, we know the state government is going on, and now we're just aligning ourselves with federal and state law. I mean, if you don't want us to do that, that's fine. I mean, when I got emails that say, why is not marijuana tax higher? Why are people selling marijuana at dispensaries that are not licensed in the city? Now, we're regulating that and we're being crucified. So I just understand. You don't want to do it, vote it down, that's fair. But it's not some surreptitious staff-driven thing. It's staff following what we thought was going to do. It's weird. You know, that's fine.
It's on the table. Any other questions or comments on this item? I think we're ready to vote. Call the roll, please.
Peter?
No.
Peter? No. Horner?
No.
Howard? No. Why?
I need to abstain because my office was speaking through a lawsuit for this.
Wallace?
No.
Motion fails.
Yeah.
Thank you. Item I, Bill number 1460, employment agreement, chief of police. An ordinance of the city of Troy, Missouri, authorizing the city administrator to execute an employment agreement with Dustin Tinker for the position of chief of police. Second reading. Bill number 1460, employment agreement, chief of police, an ordinance of the city of Troy, Missouri, authorizing the city administrator to execute an employment agreement with Dustin Painter for the position of chief of police.
I'll make that motion.
Alderman Laws made a motion, seconded by Alderman Dieter. Any questions on this item? Call the roll, please.
Laws,
Yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
Peter,
Yeah.
Leonard,
Yes.
Turner,
Yes.
Huckman.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item J, resolution. Item J, resolution 2026-11, conduct of Alderwoman Dooner, a resolution of the Board of Aldermen of the City of Troy, Missouri regarding the conduct of Alderwoman Dooner during incidents involving law enforcement officers. Can we get a motion on this item?
I would like to formally object to the resolution in these proceedings, and I have something I want to read to that.
I would.
I think she can read it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my objection.
So one of the things to bring up is that you'll have to abstain, and then abstain from the discussion.
But this gives you an opportunity to be a statement.
Sure.
That makes sense?
Sure. And I want this on the record also. I'm formally objecting to the resolution and these proceedings. We live in the United States of America, a nation built on due process, fairness, and the rule of law. We do not punish people without notice, without evidence, or without an opportunity to defend themselves. Due process does not allow trial by ambush, yet that is exactly what is happening here tonight. A censure is a serious action. It requires facts, transparency, and a fair process. There are repercussions to what is being done here today, and the board is asked to remove me from positions like board president and my position on the park board. The mayor is attempting to move forward without proper notice, with unsubstantiated findings, and without allowing a meaningful opportunity to protect my rights. What is happening is not due process. It is not good governance. It is not how an elected body in America and our city of Troy would operate or should operate. There's an active investigation with the Missouri State Highway Patrol being conducted based upon my 911 call. That investigation should be allowed to run its course, and as an elected official and body should not interfere with criminal investigations by conducting a political witch hunt. These proceedings are premature, irresponsible, and undermine the integrity of the law enforcement investigative process. A person cannot claim to care about truth while refusing to wait for the proper investigation of it. These proceedings have made me ask, how has a mayor been able to view and share law enforcement investigations before the investigations have been concluded? How does he have the access, and on what authority does he have to be part of the law enforcement investigations? His possession, use, or distribution of the investigatory process raises significant concerns about process, legitimacy, and fairness. The public deserves to know how investigative evidence ended up in the hands of someone who has no legal authority to possess it, especially when that person is using it to drive political action. Let me be clear. These actions tonight are not about protecting the city. They are about politics and the mayor's desire to seek retribution against someone who has endeavored to work in the best interests of the city. For 6 years, the mayor has made his personal dislike of me abundantly clear. That pattern has included public disparagement, victim shaming, and anger directed towards me in city proceedings. It has created a hostile work environment in the city by providing persons with untrue and inflammatory statements about me. This is not new behavior. It is a long-standing pattern, and it is impossible to ignore that this censor effort fits into this pattern. Now, the mayor is attempting to go even further by what he is terming as a censor, but is effectively an impeachment of stripping appointed duties from me by removing me as board president and stripping me of my seat on the Parks and Rec board. These are not minor actions. They are attempts to overturn the will of the voters and silence an elected representative through political retaliation. It is very clear that the alleged actions did not occur during the course of my duties as alderman. Now, one of the allegations dealt with misfeasance, malfeasance, or nonfeasance of my duties. Proceeding forward on this censor is unlawful and places the city at great risk. The law enforcement process is taking place, and the mayor's interference for political purposes undermines the investigatory process and misuses governmental authority for personal political purposes. It is my belief that this is an attempt to mislead the public, as I am up for re-election on April 7th. I believe this effort is intended not only to damage my reputation, but to also influence the outcome of that election by using you as board members to follow his whims. Whether this is the intent or not, it has the appearance of political interference, and that alone should give every member of this board serious cause. As there is an active investigation, I will not debate or speak about the allegations here tonight. I will not risk hindering or compromising that process in any way. The proper place for facts to be established is within that investigation, not in a politically charged meeting and not in a rushed censor vote. If this board agrees to move forward, you are setting a dangerous precedent that we do not abide by the process, by the law, but by political motivations and feelings. By acting as a kangaroo court and declaring that personal dislike is enough to override due process, you would damage the legitimacy of this board and the governance of this city. You would be declaring that political convenience is more important than fairness, and you would be declaring that any elected official can be targeted and removed from leadership simply because someone in power wants them gone. These board meetings are for conducting the work of the city for the benefit of the citizens, not for political gain of the mayor. I am formally objecting to these proceedings because they are not lawfully conducted and they violate not only my due process rights, but the will of the voters who elected me to sit as your alderman. Woo!
Yeah. Impeach Scott.
Oh, I'm not done yet. Let me finish. To the residents who came here to support me, thank you. To the residents of the community who are here tonight or watching from home, you deserve a government that operates with integrity, fairness, and respect for the law. You deserve leaders who follow due process, not political impulses or access to grinds. You deserve transparency, not decisions made in haste, without facts, and without regard for that truth. I will continue to respect the investigative process. I will continue to uphold the responsibilities of this office, and I will continue to serve you with honesty, even when it is difficult, even when it is unpopular, and even when others attempt to silence or force me with threats and falsehoods. You elected me to represent you, and I will not abandon that responsibility. I ask you to pay attention to what is happening up here tonight. Look how the elected officials make their decisions, and to ask your own questions, and to hold every one of us up here, every single elected official, including myself, accountable to the standards of the fairness and due process that our community deserves and what is required in our great country.
Yes. Senator Scott.
Okay, Chair will entertain a motion on item resolution 2026-1, item J. Can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the resolution. Can I get a second, please? Get a second and have debate about that or not?
He doesn't want to debate.
Should have got a second before we allow.
It's kind of hard.
I'm sorry, included here, but. Okay, without a second, the motion fails.
Yeah. Keep banging that hammer, you bully.
Okay, Chair will entertain a motion going to closed session for personnel.
I'll make that motion.
Call the roll, please. I'm sorry, yes, it's Peter. Upton and Peter, sorry.
Upton?
Yes.
Bud?
Yeah.
Alden? Peter? Peters? Yes. Warner?
Like this side, so you can.
There he is, big bully. There's the loser right there. Right there he is. Bully.
I can see her. I started coming here when I was in here. How are you? I'm fine. Hi. This is one of the more interesting ones. Yeah. This is like, I don't know. Oh, he talks to you, right?
Well, we should, because that'd be dirty. Really? That I would. I do know something needs to happen. So he's tracking by. It's good. He's good. See, it's behind the building. That's not one. Owns Dropbox, 5 foot. You have that seen. I just use the next thing is I was a Girl Scout or something. Like, it is. It's like, get out, and walk across the table, and look at it. I think my to do that. You never know. I've had problems with my data. Their system hasn't been shut down in 8 seconds. I always wrap mine in. I had 2 checks. I pay my electric bill check and my water bill. I have 20 years. I just lose. You know, yeah, I'm gonna inconvenience. Maybe I should start with that. Because they don't want you to me. No, they don't want you. I don't know. I got it for 20 years. I write 2 checks. I'm like, you're gonna inconvenience me. I want my parents. I don't use me. I'm going to use the car. Yeah. That's it. I get paid twice. I get paid twice a week. And I write all everything. I didn't remember and my 2 checks are right. The only day I drive my car. Yeah. I don't know.